What a wonderful, wonderful day here today at Agents in the Trenches. You see this lineup of frontline leaders that are joining us here today. This is just incredible. Hey guys, Lucy Quinones. We are actually bringing together a celebration of one of a kind. Each and every one of these people that are here surrounding us this morning, or this afternoon rather, are here to share, number one, their mid-year celebrations, their wins, and we're also going to have an amazing conversation on what are we expecting to see happen in the next 6 months. And I'm not just talking about the market, I'm talking about us as leaders, I'm talking about us as humans, I'm talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, the struggles, you know, everything that we see and everything that we don't see. We just want to have a real, raw conversation with each and every one of them. So, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to each and every one of us that are here, because there's people watching from all different parts of the world and we don't know when they're going to be watching. If you're here on live, give us a hashtag live. If you are watching us on replay, give us a hashtag replay. And of course, as usual, I've got my running partner. Before we introduce everyone else, Thalia, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy Friday to everyone. I'm looking forward for this conversation and just seeing what, everyone is doing these days, right? Because we're all in like different worlds, but, kind of like in different paths, but in the same direction, and it's growth and trying to find, just the better versions of ourselves. So I'm super excited to
Yes.
hear everybody out today.
Well, we're going to have an amazing audience today because these power pack leaders, these women and men that you see here are all making some massive moves in our marketplace. So as I see you here on my dashboard, or I see you here in the screen, I am going to put you front and center so you can say hi, introduce yourself. What do you do? Give us your 30-second elevator speech. So let's kick it off with our friend Marissa Gonzalez. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be seeing this. My name is Marissa Gonzalez. I am the founder of Madi G Solutions, and our focus really is to empower people when it comes to basic financial literacy, budgeting, savings, credit, and then helping them navigate some of the legal challenges that come with that. Super excited to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, next up we got Miss Pino. Miss Pino in the house. Tell us a little bit about you. Good to see you.
Good to see you all. Thank you for the invite. My name is Miss Pino. I am a real estate developer in South Florida. I'm also an investor, been in business in real estate for many, many years. And I'm very excited to be part of this show today because I know that it's perfect timing. 6 months past, 6 months coming up. There's a lot of stuff that we need to work on, and a lot of changes happen, as a matter of fact, for the real estate industry coming up next month, which I'm sure we'll delve into it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Great to see you. Well, let's bring one of our guys, one of our gentlemen here. So we'll kick it off with Chris Larson. Say hello to our Agents in the Trenches audience.
Hey everybody, Chris Larson, Angelo Finance, independent mortgage broker. Thanks for the invite. I really appreciate that. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have some changes here next month, and for loan officers as well as for the realtors, because we're not really sure. The market will adapt. We'll figure it out. We'll find our balance. I'm sure, but there's some challenges up ahead.
Great to see you, Chris. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to go with our invitee here, Tracy. Tracy, introduce yourself.
Hi, I am so happy to be here. My name's Tracy Daines. I'm with Miranda Homes. I'm the Realtor Relations Specialist here. My position is all about collaboration, which is why I love moments like this, because we are better people when we meet with others that are smarter than us. So I am excited to learn from all of you. It has been an interesting year. It's about to get more interesting in the real estate world. So I'm excited to have this conversation.
So good to have you. Next up, we've got our friend Gus, and then we have one of our local brokers coming up next after him. So Gus, introduce yourself. How are you doing?
How's it going, everybody? My name is Gus with TVF Mortgage. I'm doing fantastic. The day after the 4th, how's everybody feeling today? I'm so happy to be here just to share the room with all these people that are just making movement in the industry and just talk about where we're at, where we're going, and what's to look forward for the rest of the year. I'm excited to have our conversation today.
Welcome, welcome. And last but not least, we have our friend here, Jeanette Mosqueda. How are you, Jeanette? Good to see you. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeanette Mosqueda. I'm broker owner here with Hustle Bees Realty. And yes, excited for the new changes. I think this change is good. We needed it. It's going to be a lot of creativity, innovation. And I guess that I'm excited. I'm actually excited for this new market for sure. Real estate era.
Awesome. Well, we're going to kick it off with an open conversation. And for those of you that are just joining us now, we have some incredible frontline leaders, as I always like to say, joining us here on Agents in the Trenches. They've actually been previous guests, most of them. They've been on here before. We have, one of them who is brand new to Agents in the Trenches, but this is a place and a space that we've created to bring forth that message of the real, the raw, the realities that we are all going through as business owners, as business leaders, as entrepreneurs, as people that want to really express our voice. I'm a firm believer that we all have a voice and we have a responsibility to deliver a message, become the right messenger with that right message, right? To help others, lead others. So I'm gonna turn it over to my running partner, Talia. What would be one of the first questions that we want to know about these incredible business leaders in what they've accomplished or what they've done maybe in the last 6 months of the year? Because we want to celebrate it, but we also want to set some expectations for the next 6 months.
Well, the first thing I would want to know is what's your biggest win of the year? I mean, we're halfway through the point, so I'm sure there's something that is incredible to celebrate. So I would love to hear it. Let's start off with that.
Who wants to kick it off? We'll just do a quick round robin. What's been one of your greatest wins? Not everyone at the same time. Marissa, go ahead.
I'll start. I was going to say, I can start it off. Hey guys, one of my greatest wins, I will say, is just really diving into how I can bring more value to the community and individuals that we're serving. So we partnered up with a new company. We're offering some new services, really just to bring that holistic perspective when it comes to the finance side of things, but then understanding that there are some legal complexities that come with it. And I won't ever pretend to be a lawyer or to give legal advice. And so we've been really seeing great strides with how that's been able to impact people in a positive way.
Love it. Love it. Ms. Fino, what's a win for you this year so far?
Good win or big win. One of the many wins is this year. I would say, number one, I was very happy and grateful to you and Talia for putting together the SWFL Florida Real Estate Mastermind event. All of them that I have attended have been fantastic. And it's also an opportunity, like you were very well said, to share kind of like your ideas, your vision, your talents, and be able to connect with people that maybe you might not know at this point, or maybe you know them superficially, but then you can really establish a long-lasting relationship with them and then be able to bring value to them. And I think that's important because I always say, if you're in business for the long term, then it takes a long time to be able to pretty much, get people to know you and you get to know them as well, because this is kind of like a both-way street. That's on that. And health-wise, I feel much better after my surgery. So I'm very happy about that, because when you are healthy and you feel good, you can then give good even more out. And that's what we all wanting to contribute. So it has to start with you. So two things that I'm very happy about.
Awesome.
Incredible.
How about Gus? Gus, tell us about a win that you've had.
Yeah, my biggest win last year was my first year here, full year here in Florida. And as many know, it came with a lot of struggles, right? Nobody knowing you, trying to grow your business from ground zero. So with all that, like, I had my struggles, but my biggest win this year is outproducing what I did last year already and looking to double and triple that amount. So that's my biggest win, and just growing and seeing it come to fruition. It's just a beautiful feeling. It's awesome.
I love it. Tracy, take it away. What's been one of your biggest wins this year so far?
Yeah, mine's probably going to be on a little bit more of a corporate scale for Miranda Homes. Our biggest win is coming out of COVID and supply chain issues. We have got an all new management, VP, all of that, and we've just seen our process just accelerated, and our expectations, like we just come out with excellence. And so I'd probably say that's my biggest win this year, is just being proud of the fact that that's where we're at.
That's awesome. Great. Jeanette, as a broker, I'm sure that, you can share a lot of wins you've had, right? What's the biggest one for you this year?
I think the biggest win so far for me this year is meeting like-minded individuals like all of you, collaborating, obviously creativity and innovation with this new real estate era. But most importantly, getting to know all of you guys, and then meeting great business partners along the way this year. I think that's been one of my biggest wins this year.
Oh, that's great. All right, last but not least, right? I think we have Chris. Chris, tell us what one of your biggest wins this year has been.
Well, I've got a couple wins. I had a health scare earlier, starting in February, and finally, as of the first, I'm back to the gym. I'm 100%. Nothing is wrong. It was maybe this, maybe that. It was the first time I ever had to face that, and it took me out of the industry for a little while because I was going to all these appointments, scans, MRIs, etc. And so I feel just great. As of Monday, I'm back at the gym. I'm just feeling better. I'm really happy about that. My other win, similar to Gus's, I looked at my year to date for payroll for the end of June, and I'm already crushing it compared to last year, even with my absence. So
good for you. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I want to piggyback off of, and I'm happy to hear, Chris, that you're doing well and that you are getting your healthy back, right? And coming back new and improved. I want to piggyback off of, what a lot of people are talking about nowadays, and it's the work-life balance. Let's talk a little bit about this concept or this hallucination. I call it a hallucination, but I'm curious to know what you guys think about it, because I call it a hallucination. I don't think that there's really a work-life balance. I call it something else, but I'm curious to know, what do you guys think about this concept, work-life balance?
Well, I want a hallucination. Real cool thing is if you love what you do, then you're having fun anyway, right? So yeah, I think the balance is figuring out how to love what you do.
I think when you find your passion, you don't work. It's just like it's an automatic thing. When you find your passion, it's not work for you. It's just something you're passionate about, and you want to share, enjoy it with others.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're blessed. A lot of our job is just friendly conversations with other people, so that's not really work, And but yeah, I would say we work always and we work never. And if you choose to work never, then you're gonna have a tough time paying the bills. And if you work always, well, then you don't have a life. But I think we're all blessed that our work isn't. We're not in the coal mines, and it's a really great job that we have working in this industry.
Yeah, I agree with that. My phone's on all the time, so it doesn't matter whether it's Saturday, Sunday. The phone goes off, I answer it, right? But we're in an industry where we're absolutely blessed. Like there's days where in the middle of the week you're doing something that if you're working a 9-to-5 job, you're not allowed to do stuff like that, right? And we're just blessed in so many ways. But at the end of the day, we have to work for what we have. And so I think it's beautiful. I enjoy it. I love it. And it seems like everybody else on this call loves it. So, but I don't know, work-life balance. What is that?
I would
I would
definitely say it's almost like seasons. Like we get to manage our own schedules. We get to travel with our phones. I mean, like Gus said, like on Sundays, I'm still talking to clients, right? I don't have that traditional 9 to 5 either, but I'm able to kind of create the life that I want around still being able to help people. Just 2 weeks ago, I was on a 2 week road trip with my family and still being able to service the individuals that I'm coming across because I'm not bound to a desk or to a location. And so I think for me, I don't even know that it's really balanced. It's just being intentional with the time and knowing what type of impact I want to go out there and make, and making sure that however I choose to set my schedule or spend my time on making that impact.
Love it.
That's very
Miss
true.
Pino, you were going to say something.
Yes, I was going to say something in regards to what Gus was saying, and also what Marisa, you just touched upon that. Work-life balance, in a way, it's what is it you're wanting in life, and where are you in your timeline? What are your desires? What are your goals? What are you working towards? So you make it part of your lifestyle. And people say, well, are you available for this? And I said, I'm always available for the things that will align me and are help me walk closer to the goals and things that I'm working on. Everything else that it takes me away from it, I am not interested. I will say no, thank you. I'm not interested. Like, things that don't align with the things that I want. So that's why when you say, are you available for, I said, yes, I am, because this is something like to be, sharing and connected with people. It's like, yes, I am. I will make myself available. And I think that's true for everybody. If you really want to make things, you can either make excuses or produce results, but you can't do both. So knowing that, I guess you find your own balance on the bicycle as you go,
Mhm.
Yes. Who's missing from the sharing there? I think everybody went. Talia, do you wanted to share something?
I think, well, what I want to say is they talked about intentionality. I think it's just taking moments of rest. Like, for an example, yesterday, right? A lot of people just took the whole day off, which is cool. You can do that. It's every independent contractor, their own business and stuff like that. But, Lucy and I, we were still working, right? Like, I think it was like 8 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning. We were sending out messages and doing a whole bunch of things. And then even at one point, Lucy's like, okay, well, I'm going to take a moment, right? And it's just taking those moments of rest where you can still kind of juggle the what you have going on, but just also being conscious that, okay, now it's time for me to just take a mental break, right? Let me disconnect from the phone, and it's important for our health as well.
I love that. Actually, we have someone that's joining us here. He is the broker or director. I'm not sure what the exact title is. You could correct me, Eli Torres, on exactly the title. But I saw one of his posts yesterday, and it was really funny. And it was talking about not being active. I like calling it active, right? Not being available yesterday because obviously it was the 4th of July. So when we talk about work-life balance, right, after doing this for 24 years like I have, I realized that I've never been able to find work-life balance. What I have been able to perfect is equilibrium. So I always have the imagination of walking a tightrope, right? Walking a tightrope and maintaining everything in my life. Like, you guys can go on my Facebook and you can see my mamita life moments when I'm with my grandchildren. And I could be doing that and, getting my love tank full. But then later that day, I could be out on a date night with my husband. And we're still connected because we are building something that we are in love with. I always share with the people that I coach in business and in real estate. It's like, do you remember when you first had your crush, right? That's how you have to think about your business or your profession. That's your crush. Like, real estate for me is my crush, and I do different things in real estate. But even being here with you guys, right, it would have been so much easier. And I'll give you a little bit of behind the scenes because I want you guys to share a little bit of behind your scenes, because everybody sees the glory, but they don't know the story. It would have been so much easier on Monday not to have been at the office until almost 6:30 preparing this next level of Agents in the Trenches, where Talia and I literally took the bull by the horns and we said, wait, we got to take this to a higher level. We have something in our hands that is powerful, that people love, they like it. And we're building a community that is unshakable. I don't know about you guys, but I feel unshakable. I don't care what storms come. Raise your hand if you guys feel unshakable.
Yes,
I'm
I
on.
do.
Yeah,
For
bring
sure.
it on, bring it on. Let's go, right? I was built
I'm
for this.
on.
So, but we were tired. We were literally saying, "Oh my God, I feel dizzy." But we found a better way to do it. We came up with what you're seeing here manifested today, right? And but it takes effort. It takes grit. It takes hustle. Yesterday, I posted a video. This Jamaican little girl with the cutest accent talking about, "I'm a hustler. Don't ask me about my money. Don't ask me where I get my money. I'm a hustler. I make money all the time." And I said, "There's only, and it's funny because it's only my sister can ask me about my money because she's a hustler too." And I put Thalia because I mean, this girl can rock and roll. This girl you see right there, Thalia Miranda, she don't know what she asked for, but it's an adventure. So let me ask you this: share with us one of those moments in your last week that really, really was one of those challenging moments, because I think that's what people need to hear. People need to hear that it does take struggle and hustle and grit. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Well, after Tracy.
No, go ahead. I was just doing it to be nice.
So, Tracy, go.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Day before yesterday, prime example. I had a schedule full of appointments, and one of our very significant people had to fly out for a family emergency. My prayers are with her. And so as a team, we had to come together and just figure it out, right? And so I'm on the road, I'm messaging this person, I'm not going to be here at this time. I'm talking to this person, not going to be here at this time. And sometimes you just got to roll with it. You just got to, your day is not going to look like it's supposed to look. You've got to push appointments back. You've got to move things around. But you just roll with it and you go with it. And the cool thing is when you have a team of people that support that, understand. So that was kind of my biggest challenging moment, that I just kind of had to take a whole full day's worth of appointments and I had to move them around. And so, yeah, but that's who we are, right?
Exactly. Who else?
Okay, I will share. One of the challenging things or kind of like the last week that I went through was making the decision when was or could be a good time for me to add another pillar in a way of revenue to our company, and what was going to entail, how I was going to go about it. Was I really ready? I questioned myself if I was or not, because sometimes, you know what you know, but at the same time, sometimes you might be doubtful or you're not sure if it's the right timing. And I came to the conclusion to say, okay, what is in my heart? Am I excited to do this? The answer is yes or no. It's simple. Yes. Do I know what I'm talking about? Do I know what I'm going to be talking about? Yes or no? The answer is like, yes. And I said, then you don't need to ask yourself anything else. Everything you need to make progress. And that's sometimes everybody I think is guilty of that at some point, that you wanted to make it so perfect, so exact, that then you delay, and you lose the momentum. You don't create any momentum, so nothing gets going. And that's terrible, because then how you grow and push the business forward. So I said, if I am going to do this, and I will, then I said, I'm just going to go, not going to think about it, just going to act upon it and make the move, the first step, the momentum, and let these things fall into place. Because if my intention is what it is, then it's all and only good can come out of it. And that will help yourself and others in the community, in the business, and everything else. So after I thought of that, then it was simple. I was like, and I just put my camera, I did a video, and I said, boom. And I did an 8-minute video on one shot. Exactly talking, like you said in the other event, talk from the heart. That's exactly what I did.
Yes.
And you won't believe how many people call me, text me, send me information. They want to know more. And I was like, really, even somebody at 3:40 in the morning And I was like, are you serious? But it was kind of like
Work life.
that given, I would say, confirmation
Right.
of what I did before. If I would not have done it, I would not have
And
done
that
it.
and that is so true. Done is better than perfect.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
None of my stuff is perfect. Guys, I don't know what you see on the other side, but none of my stuff is perfect. But my stuff gets done. And I think that's why people say, how do you do so much? I don't know. God has
Whoever did
given
it.
me God has given me an ability, an anointing. He's giving me talents and gifts, and I'm not about to, not use them. So done is better than perfect. Good for
I
you.
agree.
Who else?
I'll say something real
Amen
quick.
to that.
Yeah, like, I mean, Lucy, you talk about it all the time, the raw, the real, the ugly, all of it, right? I mean, how many of us really enjoyed yesterday and wanted to work today? Like, we got Thursday, we got Friday, kind of chill out, got the weekend, do your thing. Like being on this call right now, I have a lunch set up after this, and I was like talking to myself this morning. I was like, what were you thinking? Like, I'm tired right now. Like, but now being on this call, setting up that stuff, like doing the stuff when you don't want to do it the most, that's when it's the most rewarding, right? And so just stepping up and all of us being on here, getting on this call, that's what you want to be surrounded by. And those little things that you do in those moments set you up for success in the future. Just like how Martha was talking about, it's the momentum that it causes. It's the little trickling effect that goes from this point to the next, to the next. And next thing you know, you look back and you're like, holy crap, how did I get here? Well, it's from discipline, hard work, and just sticking at it.
Love it. I love that. Who else? Come on, guys. Let's share. Southwest Florida and the world is listening right now.
I think one of my most, I'll go ahead and pitch in. I think I had one of the most challenging moments in my career. It was literally, I would say, a month ago. And obviously, two of my right hands, like the main office staff, was not here. They, due to personal reasons, they weren't helping me. So obviously, as a broker, you delegate, and when you delegate jobs and positions, and then all of a sudden, when your positions and your delegation is not there, then you have to pivot, right? So I had to pivot this, and I had to take role and do what my two right hands were doing. It was very challenging with summer school and kids. But like Lucy said, I don't know, God gives you grace and helps you through the most challenging moments. I mean, I was working hard nights, late, but I was able to manage. I have my right hands back, so I'm good. But it was crazy. It was very challenging. I think nobody sees that as broker owners. Like, you never stop working, so you always have to be in control. Apart from that, take care of commission checks, payments, make sure everything's on roll. Then agents, if they have issues with things. So it was so hard, but I was able to manage. So I think that I was like, okay, I'm just not going to stress. I'm going to take it day by day. And that's how I looked at it. When I looked at it like that, it wasn't stressful. It was actually easier. So I think it's challenging. It can get challenging, but you can make it.
That's how we grow.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to another topic. Let's talk about what's yet to come. So I'll kick it off, or Talia, if you want to kick it off. What's yet to come?
You can go, Lucy.
So I was telling Talia the other day that I was not satisfied with the results I've seen in certain things that I'm doing. I always tend to be a visionary. I always want to go to that higher level, right? So that requires additional effort. That requires pain and sacrifice, guys. Write it down. Pain and sacrifice. And it's funny because when I speak to some people, they're like, as humans, we don't want to go through pain. We don't want to go through sacrifice. But that's what it always requires, is pain and sacrifice. There's no shortcuts. There is absolutely no shortcuts. I don't care, what we see on social media. That's why I call it the Kardashian, fantasy that everybody, including myself, right? We could all live that Kardashian fantasy. So what do you guys want to see for yourself happening in the next 6 months? Because we're going to be closing out this year in exactly the same amount of time that has already gone by. We're going to be saying goodbye to 2024. We're going to say hello 2025. There's so many people still on the sidelines waiting for a miracle, waiting for something to happen, but we got to make it happen. So I was telling Tali, I'm like, I'm not happy with this. This is too small. I'm not where we can be. We need to kick it into high gear. And so that's how my brain works. And of course, that means we got to go through some more pain and sacrifice. But Marissa, tell us a little bit about your pain and sacrifice, or where you see yourself going in the next 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I'm really excited for the next 6 months. I think for the last, I would say maybe 16 months, I really kind of just took a huge step back, kind of how people said earlier, to really kind of just like focus on themselves, focus on their health, some healing, growing, being a better individual, because I know in my mind the goals that I want to achieve, and I know the purpose that God has placed on me, right? And so that comes with a lot of inner work that has to happen. And so I finally feel like I've kind of broken past one of those thresholds that was just kind of a stumbling block for me. And so I'm really just ready to get back into the community and serve. And with that comes a challenge, because I am only one woman, and I wish I could split myself into 6 different people to be in so many places, to just go out there and serve our community and bring more education and more value to the lives of those that I'm coming across. And so I'm just really excited just to be able to get back into the community, to get back in supporting businesses and other entrepreneurs and just all of the ventures that they want to do, because I know that when we come together just the way that we're doing now, beautiful things can happen.
I love it. Chris, tell us a little bit about where you're going. Where do you want to see yourself in the next 6 months, besides being a bodybuilder?
It's hard work staying pretty, right? But right now, I'm actually just starting to work with like AI, and I'm trying to learn how to like do better on social media, edit the videos that I make better, things like that. I'm not technologically adept, so to speak. Actually, if any of you are good at like the new AI and doing like chat boxes and things like that, if you would want to reach out to me, that would be awesome. I'm looking at new partner incentives, just different things, unique things that can help promote my business partners, my network partners as well, that aren't just the standard stuff.
Love it.
So just trying to get more presence, so to speak.
Excellent. Anyone else want to chime in on where do you want to see yourself in the next 6 months?
I'll say something. Oh, go ahead, Tracy.
Okay. I want collaboration. I want my tent space to be drawn out further. I read something the other day. There's a Cornell University did a study that a person makes an average of 35,000 decisions every day. And that seems very overwhelming. So I'm looking for collaboration, connections, people that I can reach out to help make some of those 35,000 decisions. And I feel like the more people we connect with, the more insight we get, the more perspective we get, and we just grow and we stretch. And some of our decisions that we make like almost habitually every day can be challenged. And when they're challenged, then we grow and we make different decisions that lead us to a different place and more success. So that's what I'm looking for, collaboration.
Collaboration, yes. That's why we're here. That's why we've been doing what we do. I'm so happy for that. Gus, tell us.
Yes.
Kind of picking back off of what Marissa said, I'm excited. I'm excited for the second half of the year. There is no doubt in my mind that I'm going to crush it the second half of the year. And it all boils down to my mindset. And I talk about it all the time, but there's so much, and I mean so much noise in the industry right now, from agents just talking about how slow it is, how their listings are sitting for so long, that they have no buyers. Like, that's all noise. Like, there's people in the industry right now that are having the best years of their life. And it's because they're not allowing the things that are happening in the industry to affect their production. you got to pivot, you got to do different things. You're doing the same thing you were doing back in 2020, it's not going to work out for you. But if you have that mindset of like it's just not going to work, then it's not. And if you have a mindset that you're going to be abundant, you're going to have great things, you're going to have good success, you're going to talk to people all every day and have good things come out of it, then that's what's going to happen for you. And it's just simple as that. I can't stand the noise in the industry because that's all it is. It's just noise.
Noise.
And so once we just put that to the side, grind and work, and you got to work harder in slower markets. It's just what it is. But if you want it, you'll get it. If you don't, then you won't. But that's it. That's where I'm at.
I like that. Jeanette, where do you see yourself in the next 6 months? And then we'll go to Ms. Pino. And I think that'll be, right? We're missing 2 people. And then Talia, you could kick it off with our last question. But tell us, Jeanette, where do you see yourself going? What's exciting about the next 6 months?
It's exciting because it's going to show, obviously, the agents that will survive this new market, this new real estate era. We're going to be more innovative and more creative. So I'm actually excited with that. Being said, the new technology, how to implement it, to use it, to be innovative, and then also help you be more efficient and effective. Always being authentic. I think that's very important. After all, authenticity is important. Not letting the artificial intelligence take over you, but working hand in hand where it makes it easy for everybody to work. Because let's be honest, technology is running the industry right now. So I tell my agents there's going to be a time where artificial intelligence and the consumers are going to know if they're talking to you or to AI. So be authentic, not be authentically intelligent, not artificially intelligent. That's what I tell them.
Love it. Ms. Pino, next 6 months, where we're closing this year out.
Next 6 months, very excited. Janet touched upon something that, things are about to change in another month or so in the real estate. And I believe it's going to be the greatest opportunity for people that are focused. Gus touched upon that mindset. If the mindset is right, you will be able to create opportunities. So that leads me to, as a real estate developer and investor, what new opportunities are going to come into the marketplace that I will be able to take advantage of, monetize them, and be able to create more inventory, create opportunities, create jobs, create relationships, create solutions that are necessary and actually highly needed in this space, especially in this geographic location where we're in, that we are really be able to help families that don't have a way out, especially when it comes to housing, especially when it comes to affordability. So in my end, I'm very excited about it because between what I'm able to put together and the new collaboration and the right partners, you're able to create magic, and that can double, triple, you name it, whatever it is that you want to achieve, and how you can basically pivot and grow and scale your business. And that's why actually we're here, because I believe that for us, for example, like we are here today, after the 4th, we could have been doing something else. We are here, we show up, we're present. We can say, hey, I want to play with people that are willing to play. And I always say that to you, Lucy, I love you have the fire, the kind of like the glue to put it together, and you have to have the spark. If you don't have the desire inside, it ain't going to happen. And people are going to be agents, are going to be exiting the business by truckloads. You know why?
Yes.
Because truckloads, because seriously, because this is the thing. If you don't bring value to the marketplace, you ain't gonna get paid, which is a law. You get paid by the value that you bring to the marketplace. And if you prepare yourself and you educate yourself and you raise your bar, you raise your standard and the value and the solutions you bring to the table, you will always have business.
I love it. 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 And I think that that's going to be the separator, right?
Exactly.
The wannabes from the gonna bees, the people that are gonna make it happen. And as I hear you guys speaking, I have to tell you something while Talia gets ready to share her last question with all of us. When we invited all of you to be part of this mid-year celebration, mid-year launch, the recap, the post 4th of July, we invited a lot of people. And when I saw that you guys said yes, I said, you know what? I love the people we're going to have. I love the people that we're going to have at Agents in the Trenches, because they're the ones, and Gus said it best, you take action and then you question yourself. And I totally understand that, right? Because a lot of times we say, like Ms. Vino said, this is going to get me where I want to go. But then, I'm busy. I got other stuff to do. Why did I say yes? But that's what the gladiators of change are made up of. Gladiators of change, which I always talk about, gladiators of change are the ones that take immediate action, because each and every one of you are going to be forever on this, one of a kind Agents in the Trenches, and people are going to watch and hear your voice, and then they're going to go follow you, and then they're going to say, let me see who these people are and why are they, saying what they're saying. And you just never know who you are going to motivate or inspire to go to that higher level. And at the end of the day, once we're gone from this planet, this is what remains, is the people that we were able to motivate and inspire, or maybe show them that, look, it's not always easy, but it's possible. So I love the fact that you guys said yes. And I know it was a last minute thing, but I said to Talia, what's the worst that can happen? And I always utilize that. When I'm scared to make a move, when I'm scared to take a leap of faith, I always, what's the worst that's going to happen? What's the worst that can happen? So kudos to you guys for saying yes. I'm so happy you said yes to this invitation and to be here with us. So Tali, how are we going to close this out?
Yeah, so we're going to close it out. I want to give a scenario, and then I want to do a fire round real quick. So the scenario is, we got a new real estate agent, maybe coming into the industry, a little nervous, a little scared, or even an agent that's struggling at the moment. I want to do a fire round. What would you tell the agent, give a number one tip of how you can encourage that person to just keep going? So let's start off with Marissa. Let's go.
I knew that was coming. A number one tip, I would say, is just showing up for themselves, showing up for their community, finding out what opportunities exist in their area, maybe a little bit outside of their area. Just be a sponge, be a student, and really just learn and grow so that they can bring more value and be genuine in the value that they're bringing.
That's great. Thank you. Ms. Pino, what would you say to this struggling agent?
Struggling agent, look for a broker that has in place training, that they are doing and walking the talk for what you want as an agent to do. A lot of brokers, people come in, they're new, they don't have the training, and it's okay because they're new in the business. They need training, they need help, they need guidance. People, for example, like Lucy, you are online all the time because that's exactly what you're doing. But if you find a broker that is once in a while online, that is not the agent that maybe you should team up with, because you need constant reinforcement, and just like a baby when it's learning to walk, and that takes time. So find somebody that is excited on their own to be fired up, so you even feed up of that energy if you're new, so at least you're able to keep yourself connected, because it's very easy to drift off. And if you drift off, then you're gonna be disappointed on yourself, but you're not going to know how to move forward. And a good mentor, a good coach will always be able to pull you, push you, and kick you in the back. And it's not about, sometimes people don't match up with a coach or a mentor because they want oh my God, this is so nice and cute and all that. This is not the coaches who are going to help you, the complacent ones. You need somebody that is going to tell it like it is, show you like it is, and smack you if they have to, in a way, so you react, because at the end of the day, they want for you to be successful. And that's the kind of people like you, Lucy, for example, that new agents need to team up with. And I support that. And I vote for you.
I vote for you too, Lucy.
Awesome. Chris, do you have any tips for this scenario that I gave?
Well, yeah, what I'd say for somebody who's new or somebody who's struggling is, you need a mentor that's motivated, that's successful, somebody like Lucy. And no, I'm not just pandering to you, Lucy, it's because it's true. And then what you need to do, I always tell newer people, in either loan officers or realtors that I'm working with, is It doesn't matter if you're new, as long as you have backup, if you have somebody with wisdom behind you. If people like you, they're going to work with you. If they don't like you, they're not going to. Get your face out in front of as many people as possible. You got to get out there. You got to just go out and network and see as many people as possible. The people that like you will do business with you, even though you're new, as long as you have resources available and a good mentor that has wisdom behind you. And that's really, and so it's not harder for a new person if they have the motivation to get their face in front of people.
Awesome.
I love it. That's great.
Jeanette?
Did everybody get a chance to answer?
Not yet. We got
What
three
were
more.
you
So Jeanette, what would you say?
What I say to my new agents is be uncomfortable. In the most uncomfortable situations is the most life-changing scenarios. So if you're uncomfortable to make that phone call, do it, because that's that phone call that's going to change your life. And if you're uncomfortable of going into the camera, then do it, because that time that you're in the camera, you're going to change someone's life. So I think that that's one of the biggest things. Just be uncomfortable, because the uncomfortable situations is what changes you and gets you going and gets you in the habit of doing something that you're like, okay, this is why.
100%. Gus, what do you have to say?
For somebody that's newer or struggling, I tell them to run fast. I'm just kidding.
Get out while you can. Get out while you can.
Get out while you can. No, I'm kidding. I would tell somebody that's struggling or newer in the industry is ask as many questions as possible from the people that have been doing it the most, right? Like the people that have the experience and know that what they're doing, like ask and just be a sponge and be coachable. Like there's in our industry, there's a lot of egos. And if you allow your ego to get in the way of it, you will not grow, you will not learn. So you gotta leave that at the door, and you gotta just be a sponge and be humble and just learn as much as you can, as fast as you can. That's my advice.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. And Tracy, last but not least.
Yeah, this is hard. Everyone said everything. Okay, so I would second what everyone said, and probably the only thing I would add is give, and it'll be given unto you. Look for ways to serve, look for ways to be valuable to other real estate agents, other brokers, other people that have the success that you want. This industry has such high competition, but it's not a competition, because like what Chris said, someone's going to work with you over someone else. And at the end of the day, there's enough business to go around. So just look for ways to learn, look for ways to be teachable, but look for ways to be of value to the people around you, because that honestly, you'll learn more doing that. You'll get more doing that than anything.
I love it. Well, I just want to recap what everyone said. If you're listening now, if you're struggling, you're getting into the industry and you just, maybe you're looking to give up, listen, network, educate yourself, find a mentor or a coach, get uncomfortable, ask questions, be coachable, and give, because you will receive it back. So thank you everyone so much for taking the time and being our guest here at Agents in the Trenches.
Yes.
It's incredible. And we look forward to the next time you guys come back on.
I just want to say one word before I go, and it's thank you to each and every one of you for giving of your life to be here on this mid-year special celebration relaunch. I wish you guys all the best. I know that we're making a difference in our community. That's why you're here, connected with us, collaborating, contributing, sharing your wisdom nuggets, sharing your thoughts. So I appreciate you guys so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And let's get out there and be that guiding light that so many people need. And if there's anything you ever need from me, I am a text away. You all got my personal cell phone, and you know where to find me. So thank you guys so much. I'm greatly.
Thank you guys. Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
Sarah.
you guys so much.
Bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.